What we talked about today was the relationship between interior and exterior, our internal sort of private experience internally and sort of the external, the shared world that we can sort of talk about amongst ourselves. It's really important to know that there is a relationship. I mean, we sort of take that for granted, but it's really important to observe how we're relating to that relationship at any given moment. Um, Sometimes there's a concept, for instance, in sort of philosophical circles, but I think it's also psychological and very practical, called microcosm-macrocosm. Sort of what happens on a micro scale gets mirrored or translated into the macro. So for instance, if we had an experience very early on that sort of made us combative, we might notice that we're very combative in most situations, sometimes more, sometimes less. Um, I like to say the way we do anything, in part, is the way that we do everything. Whatever our operating system is, again, some of that maybe we decided on, some of it society or our family of origin decided on, but noticing this relationship between sort of how we move through the world, our interior, and how that reflects our exterior, and how over time we build an exterior that aligns with whatever interior we have, whether we chose that or not. So as we practice mindfulness, this has really far-reaching implications, because how we show up at work or how we show up in our personal relationships, did we choose the way that we show up, or are we showing up sort of based on past conditioning? What is our relationship to microcosm, macrocosm? Have we arrived in a place that sort of lets us, sometimes people pick a job, for instance, that sort of allows them to be who they want to be interior. And if they didn't choose who that person was, because it sort of was just a matter of conditions as they were growing up or, developing, it's maybe not such a great fit. It sort of encourages sort of the parts of them that they don't want to cultivate. And so again, I invite you over the day or week or whatever duration you find it useful, to observe, how is my interior and my exterior mirroring each other or in accordance with each other, or how is it dissonant in some way? How is my microcosm and what I'm putting into the external space, into the macrocosm, how is that relationship for me? And of course, the implications go far beyond the individual, but I think for psychological purposes, for performance-based purposes, I think it's really useful to track this in ourselves. And again, there's no right answer, there's only learning. So in observing, oh, how am I doing it? How is this a lived reality for me? And how do I want to tweak it, if I want to tweak it, so it's more useful?